Indian cuisine, from weird to beloved. The history of Desi Indian cuisine in the United States is a fascinating journey that mirrors the evolving palate and cultural openness of the American people. Initially met with skepticism and perceived as weird or uncommon, Indian food has transformed into one of the most beloved and influential current culinary traditions in the country. With this shift in conception of Indian cuisine, however, comes the idea that the conceptions of Desi Indians themselves has not shifted all too much, from being a model minority and being accepted for what they can offer rather than who they really are. In the early waves of Indian immigration, particularly during the mid 20th century, Desi Indian cuisine faced challenges as it encountered unfamiliar palates. Traditional spices, complex flavors, and the use of ingredients like ghee and fenugreek were perceived as exotic and sometimes off-putting. The initial reaction from mainstream America often labeled Indian food as too spicy or strange, hindering its widespread acceptance. Despite initial resistance, the trajectory of Desi Indian cuisine in the United States changed dramatically over the years. The 1970s and 1980s marked a turning point when Indian restaurants began to emerge, introducing Americans to the diverse and flavorful dishes of India. The popularity of yoga, a traditional Indian exercise, and meditation has increased cultural exchange and a growing interest in international cuisines all contributed to a more open-minded approach to Indian food. As Desi Indian cuisine gained popularity, chefs in the United States adapted traditional recipes to suit local tastes and ingredient availability. Americanized versions of classic dishes often feature milder spice levels, varied protein options, and adjustment to cooking methods. This culinary fusion aimed to make Indian food more accessible while preserving the essence of its flavors. The 21st century witnessed a surge in Indian American chefs who brought a fresh perspective to Desi Indian cuisine. These chefs, often blending traditional techniques with contemporary culinary trends, contributed to the renaissance of Indian food in the United States. Their innovative approaches and creative fusions expanded the appeal of Indian cuisine beyond ethnic enclaves. And if you look at the picture there, the first one, that's actually my uncle, Chef Ashish Alfred. He's been on Food Network and he owns a few restaurants in the DMV area. While the essence of Indian cooking remains intact in the United States, differences arise due to ingredient availability and culinary practices. Americanized Indian dishes may use local substitutes for certain spices, and cooking methods may be adapted to suit Western kitchens. However, with the global availability of ingredients and the growing popularity of specialty stores, many authentic Indian ingredients are now accessible, enabling a more faithful representation of traditional recipes. Desi Indians in the United States have often been regarded as a model minority, embodying the narrative of immigrant success through hard work, education, and professional achievements. With a strong emphasis on academic excellence and a significant presence in fields such as medicine, technology, and engineering, the Desi Indian community has, in some instances, been held up as an example of successful assimilation and socioeconomic mobility. The perception of Desi Indians as a model minority, however, oversimplifies the diverse experiences within the community, neglecting instances of discrimination, cultural challenges, and the varied socioeconomic backgrounds of its members. While some individuals have undoubtedly achieved remarkable success, it's essential to recognize the complexities of the Desi Indian experience in the United States and avoid generalizations that overlook the diverse narratives within the community. Though we have seen a shift in how Indian cuisine is looked at in many cases, Desi Indians are looked at the same way as they have always been, more for what they can offer than who they really are. Just as Indian food was seen as weird and different, the first immigrants from India to the United States were seen in the same way, as we have seen in our reading, Have We a Dusky Peril. They were seen in a light of fear. They were believed to be a threat to the existing workforce, have a potential for violence, and have unsurmountable traditional, cultural, and moral differences. Over time, as we have seen, these perceptions were mostly done away with, but the views of Desi Americans as objects of labor, intellect, and being a model minority have remained. It is important to look at Desi Americans, Asian Americans, and minorities in general in a different way. They need to be seen not just for their valuable addition to the workforce, their expertise in science, technology, and engineering, and the traditional and cultural diversity they bring, but as normal people who play an equal and important role in American society. Desi Indian cuisine's journey in the United States is a testament to the transformative power of cultural exchange and culinary exploration. From facing initial perceptions of being weird or uncommon, Indian food has emerged as a beloved and integral part of the American culinary landscape. As appreciation for diverse flavors continues to grow, the legacy of Desi Indian cuisine in the United States reflects the beauty of cultural fusion and the richness that immigrants bring to the tapestry of American life. To give an example of this concept, I'll be making tandoori chicken wraps. Traditionally, tandoori chicken is cooked in a tandoor oven. A tandoor is a special type of underground oven that cooks food, especially meat and breads, in a unique way. That's why we have terms like tandoori chicken and tandoori naan. Naan is a type of Indian flatbread that had originally been cooked in a tandoor. There are specific combination of spices that are applied to the chicken that give it its classic tandoori chicken taste. And it is usually eaten with roti, an Indian flatbread, along with some mint chutney, which is a mint and yogurt-based sauce. However, this recipe has been adapted to be made in an everyday Indian American household. For starters, we will be making it in a normal oven. In America, we really don't have access to the tandoor, which is the traditional way of cooking the chicken. We also, as Americans, have adapted to using a pre-made masala mix, which already has the spices mixed. That way we simply have to apply it to the chicken. Whereas originally, these spices would have been gathered and ground at home and mixed and then put on the chicken. We'll be putting the chicken in a tortilla to make a wrap. This points to the American culture of having things quick and often on the go. Finally, we will have a ranch-based sauce rather than a yogurt-based sauce, nodding at the influence that American ingredients have on traditional Indian cooking. I hope you enjoy the recipe. Okay, so we're going to add some yogurt, some red chili powder, that's turmeric, the tandoori masala, some black pepper, some salt, a little bit of lemon juice, some olive oil. You're going to whisk that up until it's a good consistency. Get a bigger bowl, get your clean chicken in there, and then we're going to make slits in the chicken, 2 per side, so that we can get the masala inside of the chicken so that the flavor kind of penetrates the chicken a little better. Pour the masala over the chicken. Make sure to get as much as you can. Then you're going to mix it up with your hands. You can wear a glove if you would like. And make sure you get the masala in all the crevices. Let's put it in the fridge overnight or as long as you can marinate it for. Oil a sheet tray. Add your chicken. And put it in the oven. I had my oven set to 350 degrees. And you can check it periodically. Make sure to not let it burn. Every so often, just flip the chicken. And this is the ideal color that you want the chicken to be. Nice and brown. A lot of that juice has evaporated. Just cook it to 165 internal. Got a tortilla, some shredded lettuce down, a little bit of tomato, some ranch. Put your whole chicken in there. Just kidding. Break the chicken up and into smaller pieces so it's easier to eat. Unless you want to put the whole chicken drumstick in there. Add the chicken to your tortilla. I got some sharp cheddar. Wrap the tortilla. And let's cut it in half. And you can see that pretty nice cross section. For our sauce, we'll add a little bit of ranch to a bowl, some cilantro, some mint, a little bit of Frank's Red Hot for some kick. Mix it up. And then there you go. There's your tandoori chicken wrap with your sauce. And I hope you enjoy.